Okay, we are live and we have a special broadcast. That is the SBGA 231 on the screen. Grand Seiko. I've got a link to my blog post about Grand Seiko in case anybody wants to learn about that. And notice I just knocked over my timeless razor. Let me grab that. Didn't mean to do that. This is a timeless razor in stainless steel. And this is not a sponsored broadcast. I just like it. I just like the timeless razor in stainless steel. Now, I have purchased the titanium unit, which I now use. I don't use this one anymore. That's why it's here on the desk. I prefer the titanium unit. And I also have an aluminum one that I keep in the shower when I shave in the shower. And so I like the lighter weight razors. Some people like the heavier weight razors. Tongue twister. But I do like the lighter weight ones. But for those who like the heavier ones, I would go with the stainless. This is a gorgeous razor, timeless razors. And they also make one in bronze. The bronze one I gave to Lady Diana. Not Lady Diana, Lady Brianna. Lady Diana unfortunately passed. So that's how that whole thing works. Let me put a banner up here with some links. Oh, let's put the one that talks about Zello. Zello is the app that we have that it's like a walkie-talkie, and you put it on you can put it on the iPhone, you can put it on an Android phone, and it literally acts like a walkie-talkie. And then in addition to having walkie-talkie functionality, you can create what's called channels. And I created a watches channel. The actual channel name is watches. And if you join that channel, you can interact with anybody on that channel. And not only does it have the walkie-talkie feature that then everybody can talk to each other on that channel, but there's also a chat, which looks like this, where you can actually have chat and you can listen to previous conversations that people had. And so here's a photo that Brianna posted where she had her nails and her toes done, and she's down in Ecuador, and she posted that she got bit by the mosquito. She better be careful down there. And then I posted that Bitcoin is hope. Bitcoin is hope. And here's a picture of my Bitcoin signet ring, which is on my hand right now. And there's the stunner. The stunner. I posted a picture of that. So see, you can really have some fun. You can have some fun in the Watches app on Zello. 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 Now I need to put the link in here because we're going to have a special guest come in. I need to put the link in the chat so that the special guest can come in. And so the procedure for doing the Zello thing is you just go into the App Store, you search Zello, Zello, and it's going to be described as a walkie-talkie app. You go ahead and you add it to your iPhone, and it also works on Android. And then you go ahead and you go to where you add channel, and you can add channel by name, search watches, add it, and you're good to go. And somebody asked, well, what's that bracelet you have on? Well, that's a faux pay bracelet. Link in the description. And I love it. And of course, I'm wearing it with the 002 Stunner, also in 18 karat gold. Both are in 18 karat gold. Both were purchased from Little Treasury Jewelers from Steve. LittleTreasury.com. I'm wearing an oldie buddy goodie coat. This was originally from England, and it's an old one. And I've got my Mercedes pin on here from back in the day when I used to drive Mercedes. I had a Mercedes pin, and I left it on there. And that's from the mid 80s. Dates from the mid 80s. And so what we're going to do is when we have our guest come in, we're going to start with the conversation. And we've got 1 minute to the actual official start time of the show. And Boozer's in the house. And Rocky Raccoon, I recently claimed that Tudor was not a luxury. I'm only now reemerging from hiding. Yeah, they push back sometimes when we tell them that they really shouldn't go down the Tudor road. But hey, some people just make mistakes in life. Kyle's in the house and he said he needed a link. We did that, and there was a link. Okay, so we did all that. We're going to talk about Amabilia. Amabilia is a company that makes high quality luggage and other things that are really cool, and they're in Italy. And I think all of their manufacturing is still in Italy, but I can't swear by that in this day and age. You never know. But I know they do make a lot of their high quality stuff in Italy. And their stuff is hard to find, but you do find it from time to time on eBay. I found an interesting bag. Let me see if I can pull it up. Okay, yeah, here it is. This is interesting. This is a used unit that is on eBay, and it was a collaboration with Givenchy. And I'm going to see if I can show the photos here. And it's kind of cool. It would kind of make a really cool, it's a makeup case, but it would make a cool watch case because you see it's not very thick. So it would be perfect for having a whole bunch of watches in there. See, I mean, can you imagine? You could have a ton of different watches in there, and it's got the wheels on it. It's got a nice handle. It's really robust, really well made. And so that's kind of cool. That would kind of make a neat watch case. Not terribly priced, $203. It's in the UK. So anyway, just food for thought there. Let's see. Kyle says, it appears I've joined on my end. Can you see? No, I can't see you guys. You ain't in here yet. Give it another try. I don't see you in here. Make sure you came in the correct link. I'll put the link in again just in case. Just in case. But no, I don't see you. I don't see you in the house. Let's see. Lamont is selling his Rolex Samaria and wanted to share the listing with the community. Email sent. Okay. All right. We'll look at that. Somehow I think this might be a joke, but let's see what email we've got. I miss having my assistant here. Oh, I got an email from Randall, and he said, our Wags, he said 5:30 p.m. show, a really big show, as Ed Sullivan would say. Yep, that's right. This is a really big show. If we can get our guest in here, if we can get our guest. Let's see here. I think this is a joke. Okay. Okay. Authentic Submariner watch, $1,500. There you go. There you go, guys. Okay. That's funny. And I did watch Kyle's unboxing video that he posted on his channel of the watch that his Air King, that I guess was his uncle or cousin, I guess his cousin or somebody gave it to him as a gift. And that gentleman paid $1,000 with tax, around a little over 1,000 for the watch. And that's interesting because in 1978, I believe, or 79, when I bought my Datejust, the Jubilee bracelet and an engine turn bezel, it was $560. So that would make sense that some years later, an Air King was $1,000. I think he said that they bought it in the mid 80s, something like that. So, so yeah. And let's see what else we got here. Gonna have to wait for we're gonna have to wait for Kyle to figure out the technical issues on his end. I don't know what he's joining with. He's joining with some funky device, so we'll see how that whole thing goes. What else? Oh, I purchased. Sometimes on eBay, you just purchase something and you don't really need it, but it's kind of cool, and so I'm planning on getting another motorcycle at some point, or one of the big scooters, like a Suzuki Bergman 650 or something like that. There's the advantage to the scooter is they have a huge storage space underneath the seat, and they get really good fuel mileage, and some of those big ones are pretty cool. But anyway, that or maybe a Honda Shadow, a newer one than the one I had. The one I had before had a carburetor, which is not a good thing to do with all the corn and the fuel these days. The carburetors get all gummed up. So I want to get one with fuel injection. So anyway, I was looking on eBay, and a seller had a shot motorcycle jacket, the 100th anniversary special, a limited edition 100th anniversary jacket with the special red liner and so forth. And looked like it was in really good condition. And so I went ahead and bought it because I don't have a shot motorcycle jacket, and I figured that one would be cool. I need another leather jacket like I need a hole in the head. I've got several really good ones, right? But anyway, that's supposed to be here Saturday. So if it does come Saturday, we'll do a special show talking about that. There's one other one. There's one in Japan for sale for like $1,500, I think. There's a couple of them. I think there's two others on sale. I think one's $1,100 and one's like $1,500. They're not my size. The one I bought for $500 is my size. And so we'll see how that whole thing works out. But they're extremely rare. And I like the look of the jacket. It's not quite as, like, the zippers and all are not quite as over the top as a typical motorcycle jacket. It's a little bit more understated, but it's still a straight up shot motorcycle jacket. Don't get me wrong. But if you compare it to the others, it's a little classier, I think. So it's kind of cool. And and they're pretty rare. BMW makes some gigantic scooters. Oh, I didn't even know they made scooters. Interesting. I didn't even know they made those. I'd love a Honda Monkey. What's a Honda Monkey? What is a Honda Monkey? I'll tell you, I loved my Shadow. I had an 1100cc Honda Shadow, 1995, I think was the year. And the only reason I sold that bike is it had a carburetor, and when they started with all the mandates on the corn and the fuel, that gums up carburetors like no tomorrow. And so I was constantly having problems with the here we got somebody in the house.
All right.
Problems with the carburetor. So can you hear me?
Yes. Can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay.
And so I was just telling them about the Honda Shadow that I had, the 1995 Honda Shadow that I really liked that bike.
Oh, nice.
It had a carburetor, and with the modern fuels, with all the corn in them and all, carburetors are not the way to go. And
right, you don't have it anymore.
I sold it because it kept getting gummed up, and I would have to keep working on the carburetor, and it was just a pain. So the newer ones are all fuel injected.
Right.
So they do make some pretty decent ones, like in the late 90s into 2000. Those will be fuel injected, right? So when I decide to pull the trigger, I'll just try to find a cream puff, probably down there in Florida, from somebody who got too old to keep riding.
You're going to get another one though, eventually.
Yeah. I'm definitely going to get another one. I'm going to get something on two wheels. A big scooter. Like, have you seen the Suzuki Bergman 650?
I don't think so.
650cc.
No.
They stopped making them a couple years ago, and they have one that's like it's the 650cc, and it's like all loaded up. I mean, it's got like all kinds of options, heated grips, heated seat. I mean, it
Wow.
was top of the line, but they stopped making it. But they are around, and those are really cool because they're highwayable. I mean, they're a big scooter, right? They got a lot of power. They're fuel injected and all that.
Oh yeah.
But they've got a huge storage compartment under the seat. I mean, you can put 2 full helmets, all kinds of stuff in there. So, anyway, I'll probably either get something like that or something like the Shadow, or I don't want to get a Harley because I don't want to get into all the issues trying to keep them on the road.
Right.
But anyway, let's talk about your case there.
Yeah.
That is a beauty. And how long did it take to get it? Tell us how you got it and how long did it take to get it?
So let me set this over here one second. So for the case, I sent to Austria for it, and the store's name is Joe Geyer. It's in Vienna, Austria. And initially, I had ordered it, and I didn't hear back from them about the order, except for having been sent a purchase receipt via email. They didn't communicate with me for the next, I want to say, week. And so I reached out to them and just, hey, checking on the status of my order. I was never emailed or copied on, tracking info. So just kind of reaching out, and they said that the whole staff was on vacation for that week. So I don't know what was going on there, but they responded to my email right away and said they'd get on my order right away, and it arrived, I think, 5 days or 6 days after that. So from the time that they shipped it, let's say, less than a week, it was at my postal.
That's amazing. That's amazing, because it can take that long to get something from across the country.
Sure.
In this country.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's the case sitting next to you. What do you think about the overall construction quality of it?
This is extremely high quality, and that's why I brought the Ramoa as well, just to kind of showcase some of the differences. There are, this is like such top quality right here. You really can't find anything this good, especially for this price. I paid US $150 after shipping and tax and everything. It was $150 basically out the door. So you can't go wrong with that. It's in fantastic condition. We've got some scuff marks and signs of use here, but no dents or dings or anything of that nature. It's in, overall, I would say, 8.5 or 9 out of 10 as far as.
Yeah, it almost looks identical to one of the cases that I have, and those don't have any plastic in them at all, right?
No, there's no plastic on this thing whatsoever.
Little padding on the handle or something, but
no, even this handle right here, it feels like it's like rubberized. It doesn't even feel like it's plastic. It's not leather, but it's also not plastic. It's almost like if it is plastic, it's got like that sort of rubberized type plastic that they have. It feels higher quality anyway. So if it is plastic, it's better than your average, run-of-the-mill stuff.
And did it come with all the dividers in it?
It did not come with as many dividers as the picture showed, but it came with like this blue kind of, I want to say, cardboard looking thing that has dividers in it, but it doesn't look like it's something that came with it originally. It looks like it was modified to fit that in. Yeah, so I don't have that in here anymore. But yeah, I kind of do wish it came with all of those other dividers. It has a few dividers, I think 3 different ways to segment it out, but no, it didn't come with all of those that the picture showed, unfortunately. And I thought originally that it didn't come with the key, so I was all worried, thinking, oh man, they didn't even send me the key to this thing. I can't lock it, so that kind of sucks. But then I figured it out. It was just it was dangling from this guy right here on the side.
Yeah, that's if you want to put like a shoulder strap on it.
Yeah, exactly.
But that'd be a heavy case to carry over your shoulder.
Right, one on each side, and the key was just dangling there, and I didn't find it until the day after I got the case. So, I mean, the lock works, the locking mechanism works perfectly. These
And show
latches.
the hinges on the back. Show them what the hinges on the back are like.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So
nice.
you can see these here. I'll bring the case over there. It's got some heft to it for sure. But you can see that. I mean, everything is just metal.
Yeah, those look heavy duty too. Then there's 3 of them.
Yep,
I
three
mean,
of them.
some cases that size would have 2.
Right, this has 3. Good point. And then these little stands here, they're rubber, really nice. Whereas if you were to compare that to the Rimowa case that I got, I mean, first off, straight away, it's way lighter. Which, I mean, I don't know. I guess I don't have a problem with that as long as it's sturdy enough. But if you can see this surround here next to the wheel, or the wheel well, if you will, this is plastic. So not that great. And then like these here, this is plastic as well. So these are like the stands.
And even those hinges on the back don't look as heavy duty.
No, not even. It does have 3, but yeah, I mean, well, that doesn't have wheels, so I don't know if I would want to compare. But yeah, there are. I mean, yeah, it's just like there is plastic here. There is plastic here, and there's just no plastic on the Amabilia case at all. And you know, these are
now
like
the Amabilia ones that do have wheels do have plastic wheels, right? But they're pretty heavy duty plastic wheels. I mean, I have one that has wheels on it, and you kind of, you know, can't get around that. But yeah, no, it looks really good. And when you open it, the way those hinges on the back, they have their own stoppers. Each one has its own stopper, so that's what holds it open, correct? He's got it locked.
Actually, that's a good question. I don't know about that.
He's got it locked. That's great.
Yeah, I did have it locked. I know. So the locks work really well, though.
That's cool.
Yeah. And then Leslie just suggested I put the watch boxes in there, and it happened to fit them all perfectly. So that's what we got in there right now.
Now, is that your whole collection in there now?
I think so, just about. Yeah, but I don't.
Well, that's convenient. You know, if a thief wants to take your watches, they just have to take the whole case, and then they're good to go.
They got it all. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And then if you can see the divide, these are the dividers. Even they feel quality. I don't know if it's cardboard in here or what that is, but it feels.
Yeah, mine came with a bunch of those. Yeah.
Yeah, and it does. You're right. Yeah, stoppers are holding it open here. So, and this is so thick right here. I mean, everything is just, it just feels really top notch. So, yeah, that's what we got.
Yeah, and the neat thing about those hinges doing it that way is there's nothing in your way. There's nothing like, you know how some of them have the thing that holds them up that's on the inside?
Right.
And there's none of that in the way.
None of that in the way. You're right. Yeah, absolutely. Good point. Things I hadn't even thought of. But yeah, I just had to jump on this. I've been looking for one for a while, and we found their website too now, which I didn't know about either until recently.
Yeah.
Now I've found their website, and the stuff is much more expensive on the website. Of course, it's new, but competitively priced when compared to some of the newer Rimowa and even some of the metal Toomey cases. So.
Yeah, I'm going to show the picture of the one that you showed me.
Yeah.
Let me pull it up here. Give me a second. We're in solo mode, but let me go off of solo. Exit solo. There we go. All right. So see, that's the one that you found on their website.
Right.
That has like that compartment in the top lid that you can put like your laptop and other stuff in. And then it has the compartment, you know, the big compartment. Then that stand, we couldn't figure out if that stand comes with it or not. But that is really cool, that stand. I mean, I was tempted. I don't even need another case, right? I was tempted to order one. It was so cool. It
I
is
know.
pretty big. I converted the measurements, and I'm not sure if their information is correct or not.
We
But
did too.
Yeah.
if their information is correct, that case is pretty big, and so
Yeah,
I don't know if it would qualify as a carry-on.
that's exactly what we were trying to decide. It seems just a scotch too big to qualify for
Yeah,
carry-on. I wouldn't want to take the chance, right?
yeah, I think that would need to be verified. Maybe, and their measurements might have been off too, because I converted them. They had them in millimeters,
Millimeters.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
did
and I
too.
converted them to inches, and it said it would be like 25 inches long. That doesn't look like it's 25 inches long, though. I think something's amiss.
It
So
could
you
be.
might want to double check, because the fact that they've got that handle and the wheels
Yep.
tells me that it might be configured to be a carry-on.
Mhm.
So, and if it is carry-on size, I would be tempted. I
Yeah,
really
if you
would.
have a phone plan that has international, or maybe you can call them on WhatsApp, then you can call their store. Just check what time it is in Vienna, make sure the store is open. But yeah, you can just Google their store, or the store that I bought it from. Oh, actually, no, that wouldn't be the same thing, because we're now speaking about the new thing from the website. But I don't think Joe Geyer has one of those cases, so that wouldn't help actually.
Yeah. So we
Yeah,
got a couple of comments here to look at.
Yep.
A gentleman commented about Lexus. He likes the straight six engines. I agree. I like the straight six engines as well, but Lexus doesn't make much junk. So my guess is their modern engines are okay too. But I do like the N96 and the old GS 300s. That's a good power plant. My first bike was carbureted, pain to start in the cold. With yeah, they're cold blooded, and now with the gummy fuel, that's a real problem. We have a Toyota Cresta, Japan only model, 1998, but it is really a 1998 Lexus, 180,000 kilometers and still going strong. There you go. Ray's in the house. Oh, what's up, Craig, Kyle, and Leslie?
How's it
And
going, Craig?
Derek's hanging out. He says hello, Craig, Kyle, Leslie, and all. And Bree is in the house. She got eaten by some mosquitoes earlier. She
Oh,
got
no.
attacked by mosquitoes.
Got
And she says hi to Kyle and Leslie. Yeah, so we're going to have to research this other piece and see if we can figure something out
Oh, yeah.
about that, and about that stand.
Yeah, that tell Bree
I
to go
wonder
back
how you would, I
off.
guess you would have to carry the stand separately. It doesn't have a compartment for the stand. Some of those makeup, the ones they have for doing makeup, they have the legs that you put in the bottom part of the case. Have you seen that?
Yep.
They have a compartment in the bottom of the case you put them in, and then so you're taking that case with you. You've got everything with you. You've got all your makeup, and then you've got the legs for it and everything right there.
I was
So
wondering the same thing though. Where do those legs collapse on that other one? Where do they go? You know, it doesn't look like they're going inside the case. If they do, they're going to take up space. So yeah, those are all the questions I had.
Yeah, the makeup case that I've seen, it literally has a compartment in the bottom part of the case, and the four legs go in there. It's got places they snap into, and they're all really look heavy duty, right? Everything looks really well made.
Looks great.
And they've got, when you open them up, there's like a mirror and there's lights and everything.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I've had a saved search on eBay for years, waiting for one of those to pop in to eBay
Well,
so I can snatch it.
what was the price on that one? Was over 1,000, wasn't it? 1,500 maybe.
Oh yeah, they're expensive. Yeah.
Yeah, very expensive. But the case new on their website was, I think, if you do the conversion, it was still under $600. So it's about half the price of something like this. So if you're going to purchase a new case, it's still worth looking into what they have, because
Oh yeah, I absolutely. If that one I just showed, that unit there, if that's actually carry-on size, I would definitely be tempted to get that. Now, is your Rimowa considered carry-on?
it is. Yeah, this complies with domestic and international measurements, so it's going to
Yeah,
fit.
so maybe this one doesn't look like it's any bigger than your Rimowa.
In the pictures, it doesn't, but it's hard for me to tell. I wouldn't want to bite the bullet without knowing for sure. But yeah,
we have to confirm that. Yeah, we got to get somebody that. Do you know anybody that speaks Italian?
I do actually. Yeah.
Send them the link and ask them to. I'm sure it says on there.
Yeah.
Because
I do.
if it is compliant, they would brag about it, right? They would say it.
Yeah, I know somebody. Her first language is French, and then she speaks fluent Spanish, Italian, and English. But
well, there you
Italian's
go.
Lower on the list, so she's
well, she can figure it out. If she speaks all those languages, she'll be able to figure it out. So Bruiser says, Craig, do you wear any makeup when reporting on the scene? No, I don't. I've been told that I should wear lots of makeup, but I don't.
I hope not.
I don't think the makeup would help much though. So there's that. But no, I think you did good. I think that now what are you planning on using that for? Like now you're storing your watches in it, but what was your plan?
There is no. The plan was it's $150, and I don't want to pass this up because they're hard to come by used.
Gotcha.
Well, I'll tell you, have no plan for it right now because I'm not traveling too much. But I think it would be a great case to put my camera gear in if I wanted to transition that. I use a backpack right now for that. It's a camera backpack. It has dividers and stuff, but I mean, this is tailor-made for something like that. If I wanted to go that route, or if I just wanted to empty it out, not use the dividers, and then use it as a suitcase or something to just carry stuff in if I was taking a car trip. Ideal.
Yeah, what I did with one of mine, actually the one that is configured as a carry-on, is it has a lot of the dividers right in it.
Yeah.
And I have just a whole bunch of stuff in there, like little tools. I've got just a mishmash of things that I might need when I'm traveling. And so I just grab that and go, and I pretty much got whatever I think I might need, cables for charging, every little thing you can think of, I've just kind of put in there.
Right.
And so that's what I use that particular bag for. So I have different bags that are configured, for different things. So depending on what I'm doing, I just grab those bags and go, right?
Yeah.
So you'll figure out something, to use that puppy for. Absolutely.
Totally. It's kind of a deal. I just didn't want to pass it up. I mean, $150. This is probably at least double or triple that new. So
yeah, and you don't know how much longer that guy's going to have. He has like one or two more now on his website.
Yeah, there are a couple more. So if somebody else wants to grab one, I think they're 80 euros, and then you've got to pay for shipping and tax. And there's
and I can tell you that I periodically check on eBay, and they're not usually there. That it's rare that there's somebody that has a couple of these things in stock. Usually you're lucky if you stumble across one.
Yeah.
But for somebody that has a couple of them and can ship them that quick and at that cost, I think I paid like $120 for mine. I've got pretty much that same case, but it was in the US.
Mm-hmm.
And it was shipped from the US. So I probably ended up with about the same amount in it. Once I paid shipping and all that, I probably paid about the same amount that you paid. And, but the guy only had one, right? And then I had a couple of others. Let me see if I can pull up I'll show you the ones that I have. This computer is not playing ball here. Okay, so Amabilia, here we go. So we'll go through these photos. You can see here that's pretty much the same case that you have.
Oh yeah.
And let's see if I can go through them. Why is this thing not working? There we go. And now, does yours say Amabilia where the handle is?
It doesn't. No, that's a difference between mine and yours. Yeah, Leslie noticed that too. Mine doesn't.
Okay, so that's a difference.
Yeah.
And then
it has a logo right here on these clasps, but like an A logo, but it doesn't say it here. Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
Craig,
And
how
then
much is the Givenchy Amabilia suitcase you found?
what'd she say again?
The makeup case. What was that? $100 or something as well, or $150 something?
The used one?
Yeah, the makeup case.
The Givenchy one.
I think it is. Yeah, I think it was closer to 200 shipped.
200 shipped. Okay.
I think so. It's on, if you search eBay, if you search Amabilia case, it should come up. Now, the one I'm showing right now on the
I think
picture.
you sent me a link to it, so if she's interested, I'll forward it over to her.
Yeah, the one that I'm showing right now, that's a small case that I put my audio recording gear in. Okay, and it's pretty small, and it has a strap. And now that's a bigger case. The one I'm showing now, that's a bigger top loading Amabilia case that's black. Okay, again, 3 hinges across the back, same hinge setup, right? There's your case with your Rimowa. And then that's the other one we just talked about.
Yeah.
And there's your watches. So that's all the pictures I have of Amabilia stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, you did good. Yeah, I mean that's a lifetime case. You're not gonna be able to break that. So
No way.
and if somebody does step to you and you hit them over the head with that puppy, they're not gonna want to play ball after that.
It is a heavy duty piece, no doubt. They'd be down for the count.
So expensive.
Yeah, they'd be down for the count. This is absolutely an amazing product, no doubt about it. Yeah.
Cool. So when are you going to travel next? What's your next trip?
Gotta be soon. I'm gonna go check out Sarasota. Maybe. So.
Why don't you go to the Bitcoin conference? Why don't you go to the Bitcoin conference in Miami?
Well, because I want to check out Sarasota.
Yeah, I agree. You should.
Yeah,
I
gotta check out Sarasota. I think.
And if you're going to go to Sarasota, you should go during the season. You should go now. You should be able to see what it's like in the wintertime.
So here's the breaking news. My car did sell yesterday on Cars and Bids. So now, within the next week here, I'm trying to negotiate with the seller, or excuse me, the buyer, and we've got to plan on when we're shipping the car to him because he's in Michigan. So that for me is like the next thing that I have to accomplish before I get out of here. But for those of you,
has he paid you? Has he paid?
No, I've sent him my wire info, and he gets back. Like I guess he's out of town on a vacation or something, so he gets back on Friday. And then at that point, he'll wire me the money over, and then of course I'm not going to give him the car until the wire clears in my account. But
Are you comfortable with the sale price?
Yeah, I'm happy with the sale price. It went for a little bit above what my reserve was, so I'm good. Yeah.
Good. Okay, so you got a week or so to get that deal done.
Yep.
You'll be into March. March is a great month to go to Sarasota anytime in March. April, it's going to start getting hot.
I'll probably go there for a week, check it out, see how we like it, and yeah, that's probably the next time I'll travel.
Yeah, I will be there in April because we're going to go to the Miami conference and then go over to Sarasota and just only spend a few days in Sarasota and then come back. Again, it's getting hot in April. It's starting to get hot. So, but yeah, that you will love it. I mean, you'll absolutely love Sarasota.
Yeah, hot's okay for me though. So if I end up, not being able to get out there in March and it ends up being April, that's okay because this is not going to be a place. I don't have the luxury of being able to live in two places and escape the one when the weather gets bad to head to the other. I'll be living there year round, so it might be better if I see the worst of it, or see when it's maybe not as good. It's It's kind of like here,
Yeah.
Palm Springs is where
Have
people
you ever lived anywhere where it was like hot and humid?
I've vacationed long vacations in Thailand and Cambodia and stuff, and I've been to Florida a few times.
How
And
much does the humidity bother you?
not much. I mean, not.
See, some people, it doesn't really bother them that much.
I mean, let's be clear. I think the weather here is perfect in California. I love this weather, but you gotta take the good with the bad. And these days, I mean, California is just not what it once was. Unfortunately, the people here have ruined it. So, yeah, I think if everything else is better there and the weather's still pretty good, I could probably deal with that.
Yeah, well, in the wintertime, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
The weather is beautiful from, let's say, November, December, January, February, March, all those months, it's perfect. And I
Yes.
would argue that it's better than California because it's warmer those months.
Yeah.
It is greener. You don't have the dry, right?
Yep.
But yet you don't get that much rain. That's the dry season, right? So you don't get that much rain, but you get enough to where it's not dry, if you will.
Mhm.
And everything's green and nice and lush, right? Not just where you irrigate. Like in California, if you don't irrigate, it's dry. It's a desert, right?
Desert.
This is different. Everything is green. You drive out somewhere and it's all green, right? So I think there's some advantages, especially if you go there in the wintertime, because it's just like, 70 degrees every day, maybe upwards to 80 at the most. And then at night it might get down to like 50, and it just doesn't, it doesn't rain. It's a slight light breeze. It's not too windy. Like some places like in Arizona and Texas where people go in the wintertime,
Yep.
it's windy, right? We don't have that issue. So you have fewer issues in Sarasota.
Don't want any of that.
Yeah.
Don't want the wind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
That sounds good.
all right. Well, I think we're good. Anything else that you'd like? Oh, I saw your unboxing video.
Oh yeah. Did you like that?
Yeah, and as far as servicing it, I guess if it's starting to run slow, if that's starting to become an irritation,
Yeah.
then I guess you need to do that. Now, you mentioned replacing the bracelet. Is that with the same bracelet, or would it be a bracelet with like solid end links and stuff like that?
No, they give you a period correct bracelet, so it would be the same type of bracelet, just a new one.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. So nothing
Now,
like today's bracelets. No.
you talked about the clasp.
Yeah.
So you know that when you adjust those, you know how to adjust them, correct?
I've not done anything to it other than, I mean, like the pins have fallen out, and I've had to put that back in several times. And
Wait, what fell out?
one of the pins.
Oh, okay.
It's I don't have the watch here.
Yeah, you got to make sure the pin's in good shape. If you replace it with one that's in good shape. But okay, so when it closes, all right, the way you adjust that on those old bracelets, it's the curve of those two stamped pieces that you adjust.
Yeah.
You very slightly adjust that curve, and that will change the tension on the clasp.
Yes. Okay. So I have done that. That I've done, but I don't know. It's just the overall. I think everything about the bracelet. It's just kind of feels like it's had better days. So
Gotcha.
I don't know. Yeah, I think it's if there was one thing to go, it would be the bracelet, the clasp, and everything. It just feels like it's kind of on its last legs. It's even after I've adjusted it, like you said there, even after I've done some of those adjustments, it's still fallen off of my wrist several times. So I don't want that to.
When you say falling off, it just comes unclasped, right? It doesn't. The whole watch doesn't fall off.
See, there's a couple issues. There's like the issues with the pins that I've mentioned, so it's fallen off due to that.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, that you'd need to have dealt with. Yeah, that you
Yeah,
can't.
and then also it's fallen off due to the tension issue, which that has been resolved. But I think I overcompensated, and
Now it's too tight.
now it's like way too tight. It's so hard
Yeah,
to
yeah,
get
yeah,
off.
yeah, yeah.
Practically like breaking my fingernail to get it off.
That's a common issue. People over adjust it. Yeah. Yeah,
So
I'm
I'm
with
just
you.
thinking, I didn't pay anything for it. It would be cool, I think, if I just took it there and then they returned it to me and it was in like brand new condition, almost as
You
if.
know what's funny? What's funny about the whole thing though? You're going to spend as much doing that as he paid buying it new.
More.
Yeah.
More.
Yeah, well, of course we know the dollar has devalued, right? So,
Right.
of course.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was saying my date just with the engine turn bezel was $560 new.
Okay.
And that it was in 78 or 79. I think I bought it in 78. So it makes sense. When did he buy his?
1988.
So 10 years later,
Yeah.
a less expensive model
This
was
was
more
the
money.
cheapest watch they made at that time. It's
Yeah.
like getting
And so that makes sense. That makes sense. That sounds about right.
Yeah.
Because the date just would have probably been like 1600 or something.
Probably about that. Yeah, it's hard for me to say, but I would imagine so.
Yeah, yeah, or maybe even 2000.
What do you think a day date would have been? 5,000,
I'm
8,000?
trying to remember. I know when I bought the white gold day date, I got a really good buy on it. I think I paid like $2,600 for it, brand new.
Wow.
He gave me, it was a watch that had been in the case for like 3 years. He couldn't sell it. Nobody would buy it. And so it had a 3-year-old price on it, list price, right? And he gave me 40% off of that.
Wow.
That's the only reason I bought it. I got like a really good buy on it, right?
That's a great deal.
So regular day date was probably $4,000, $5,000. I don't
Jeez.
remember for sure, but probably in that price range. I mean, people can check
Wow.
and see. But yeah, that was when I bought the day date. I think it was around 1980-ish when I bought the white gold one. I bought the my first yellow gold one about that same time frame. I bought the 1803 with the conventional clasp. I really liked that watch because it had the micro adjustments.
Mm-hmm.
And so that one had a lot of stretch in the bracelet, and the bracelet had even had some repair work done on it. So it was like a little bit every which way, but it still looked great.
Yeah.
And it had the I swear that watch was thinner on the wrist. I'm not sure if it was or wasn't, but I just remember it being thinner. And I just remember the case, the silhouette of the case looking just special. There was something special about that 1803.
Yeah.
But maybe it was because it was my first one. I don't know, but yeah.
Well, second if you count the white gold, right?
I say again?
Second if you were to count the white gold one, right?
The white gold one had the hidden clasp bracelet.
Oh, it did. Right. Okay.
Yeah, and it was it was a newer unit. The 1803 was like a 1966 model year watch.
Oh, okay.
So when I
Oh,
bought it, it was like 20 years old.
I see. Okay.
So it had a lot of stretch, and it had like I say, the one of the link that goes up to the case, the one link away from the case,
Mm-hmm.
it had some work done. You could see that it was like kind of like welded, like just kind of had been monkeyed around with. I mean, it didn't look terrible, but you could tell that it had some repair work done on the bracelet.
Right.
And like I said, it had a fair amount of stretch, but it still looked great. It was still fun to wear, and and I actually made a little money on it when I sold it. And then I got another one that had less stretch, another used one. And then I bought a new one in like I want to say 89-ish. and then I bought the last one, the 18238, new in like right around the year 2000.
What prompted you to get the one in 2000? Was the 1989 model just getting?
Well, I sold it. It was a bark finished one. The other one I had, I bought it used. I got a good buy on it, and I sold it. I made some money on it, and then for a while I didn't have a day date. It wasn't that long. For a year or so, I didn't have a day date,
Right.
and so I wanted another one. And then we made a bunch of money on the online trading stocks during the dot-com boom. I bought Ameritrade. I bought E-Trade. I bought all of them when they went public, and we made money on those. So I bought the 2 watches. I bought the day date for me, a gold lady date for my then wife with diamonds on it, and then the 1999 GS 300 Lexus, all brand new, with like a fraction of the profits that we made on the stocks. I mean, it wasn't even the
Nice.
whole thing. So that was just our way of celebrating, making the money on those stocks, because we sold pretty much at the top, not quite the top, but pretty close to the top. And I had a neighbor down the road from me that had a bunch of AOL stock, and he had actually done some work on my house. He was in construction, and we got to talking about the tech stocks and stuff like that. He knew I was into technology. And he said, "Yeah, what have you been doing okay on these stocks?" I said, "Yeah, I've been doing great." I said, "But I'm selling everything." He said, "What?" He said, "Everything's going up." He says, "Well," I said, I'm just telling you what I'm doing. I'm selling everything. I'm getting out, right?" And
Right.
so he said, and then he left, right? And I saw him like 2 years later, and he ended up selling also.
Oh,
He thought about it and all, and he thought, well, we've gone up, we made a lot, and he sold, and I saw him like 2 years later, and he gives me a big hug. He says, "Oh my God, thank you so much." I said, "What?" He said, "Because you told me you were selling all those stocks." He said, "I ended up selling my AOL,
good.
and then it crashed."
Good move.
And
Oh my gosh.
I said, "Oh well, there we go. Okay, good."
He avoided catastrophe. That's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I see Booster's comment here. So Doug DeMuro is going to get a cut, and it's from the buyer. So on that platform, the seller pays nothing, which is why I gave it a shot. I said, "Yeah, why not just throw this thing on there? I'll set my reserve. If it needs the reserve, then I'll sell it." And
so the buyer pays the buyer fee.
the buyer pays the fees to the website. The seller pays nothing.
Yeah, that's the way the Gov Deals website works, the one that has all the ambulances and fire trucks and all that stuff on it.
Cool.
The buyer pays the fee.
Buyer
And it's
pays.
a hefty fee. I think it's like 15%. It varies. It depends on the seller. They can have different fees, but it's anywhere from 10 to 15%
Oof.
buyer's fee on that site.
Woo, that's high.
Yeah, it's a hit. So, but oh well, it is what it is. You can just figure that in on the cost. So,
Yeah, exactly.
all right. Well, congratulations. You did good. And
Yep.
any other news? Anything else going on?
No, I don't think there's anything else going on other than trying to think about going to Florida after after I wrap up the sale of the car. Think about that. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll tell you, I got to decide. I'm going to extend the lease on my house until December 1. I'm giving her a 6-month extension
Yep.
until December 1, and then I got to decide what to do. The I mean, the manager down there, about managing property and all that. I mean, he says, the rents are going way up. He says, "I think I can get you $2,600 a month, and the extension, I'm getting $2,300 a month for this 6-month extension."
Yeah.
And then he says, "I think I can get you $2,600 a month without doing any improvements, right? Without putting a new kitchen in or anything, right?" He says,
Right.
"So the rents just keep going up."
Yeah.
And I'm like, "But I want to start using the house."
Yeah. Yeah.
So I think I'm just going to kick her out December 1st.
Yeah.
Just bite the bullet.
Yeah, she's had her time in there. I mean, it seems like you're itching to get back there, so you gotta do something, right?
Yeah, it's that, or the only thing that would change my mind is if I decide to buy a place in El Salvador and have another place
Oh yeah.
down there. So if that place is really hopping, and if he gets his volcano bonds going and all of that stuff, and it really looks like it's going to happen, it might be smart to go down there and buy a piece of land and get a piece of the action.
Possibly, yeah. I mean, Brett's been there in the last 6 months. I think he was there about 6 months ago. So
Yeah, so I think this next 6 months is going to be telling. I mean, if he can get things going this year in 2022, I mean, I think he's going to be okay. If he can get through this pullback that we're having now, and if things can stabilize and he can get that bond going and get that Bitcoin City actually under construction, actually be breaking ground and really making progress,
yeah,
then I think there'll be nothing to stop him at that point.
yeah, you
So,
should take a trip down there. Maybe later this year. See how you like it.
yeah, that's the thing. And yeah, I'm gonna give it a few months, and hopefully we'll learn a lot about it. He's going to be at the Bitcoin conference in Miami, Bukele, and
Okay.
so hopefully we'll learn a lot. He's going to give a talk, right? Hopefully he'll bring us all up to date, and then we can just kind of figure out whether or not we need to have a compound down there.
Nice.
So, all right. Well, thanks for coming on, and
Thanks for having
you all
us.
just keep doing it. Just keep doing
Alrighty.
it.
Sounds good. Well, thank you, and have a good rest of your day, everybody. Thanks for having us on.
Enjoy that case.
I will. Thank you.
There you go, folks. Folks in motion. In motion. Let's see here. Remove from stream. There we go. And, making things happen. Folks making things happen. He's snatched up a bargain on eBay. He's got just a killer case there. That Amabilia case made in Italy. That thing's going to last. That thing's going to last, and he's going to get it's going to protect whatever he puts in that case. Whatever he puts in that case is going to be protected. Let's see. Yeah, I think we're caught up. We're caught up on everything. I think we're going to be able to wrap this show. We've been going almost an hour, and we made a lot of progress. Stay tuned for a show possibly on Saturday if I receive the shipment from the coat is coming from New York, New York. And if I get the jacket, the motorcycle jacket, if I get it, I'll do a special show. Derek says we can't end. Derek says we can't end yet. Derek, did you get a day date? Do tell, did you get a day date? You need to do what you got to do to get a day date. We can't live without you having a day date. Let's see here. Let's see. Bye Hall says, okay. Bruiser says we can end. By the way, what do you guys think? Do you guys think I should wear the gold stunner all the time? Do you think I should change things up and just wear this all the time and forget about the 231? Just forget about wearing the 231? What do you guys think about that? Is that radical? Is that radical? Vegas. Oh, okay. You're going to go to Vegas and get one? I called the Rolex store and they're sold out. That's the problem, Derek. We've been talking about day dates so much that now they're sold out. So we got to be careful. The Navy has an old saying, loose lips sink ships. Loose lips sink ships. And I think that's what we've done here. We've talked our way out of being able to get a day date. But I like my 002. I like my 002 stunner. I actually love my 002 stunner. So, all right, I'm going to let you guys go. I'm going to rig up a little something for dinner. And hopefully Brianna Briefit Dance is going to be able to stay away from the mosquitoes down there in Ecuador. On the equator. On the equator. Briefitdance.com, by the way, is her URL. Briefitdance.com is her URL. Thank you, everybody, for watching.